Are you a boner guy?
Oh, I was a boner guy.
You know what? I miss penis.
What are you talking about?
I'm the one who should apologize.
Is it going to be absolutely riveting? Is it going to change your life by any stretch? Probably not, but it's going to be at least entertaining, okay?
By the way, for those people that are in the back, remember to shut the fuck up.
Lady K has not been wrong. If he says he's got proof,
I've been dying to
he's got
say
proof.
that.
Cuz-a-roo.
Slap-a-rooney.
It's showtime.
WATP!
WATP.
WATP. WATP.
Welcome to yet another emergency episode of Who Are These Podcasts. I'm your host, Carl Hamburger. Thanks for joining me at a special time. We're doing this because John just can't stop lying, and also I know he misses me. Tickets are on sale for Hackamania May 31st through June 2nd. Go to hackamania.com. Use the promo code WATP for 20% off your tickets. Thank you all for joining me on this Tuesday afternoon. I was watching Stuttering John on April Fool's Day, and I was taking some notes, and I thought, this is going to be old news by the time we get to our midweek episode of Who Are These Podcasts. So why don't we get right into it? This is my boy, Stuttering John Melendez. Starting off, he's trying to find a tweet from Joey C. I'm not even sure if Joey C's on Twitter. I don't know. But he's looking for a tweet. And of course, he can't find it. Of course, he's not prepared. Of course, he's not ready. And of course, it leads to narcissistic personality disorder. And that's where I'm going to begin today. We have John doing a terrible job of tributing Cabbie. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Vince the lawyer and that relationship, which is very odd. We're going to talk about John's lying, proving that he's lying. But I want to start with narcissism. And I think we have some evidence here. So,
Okay, let's see. Well, let me see if I can find this.
this is the beginning of the show. He doesn't even know what he's looking for, where to find it, doing the one finger type
don't
thing. Just a little bit of prep, John. A little bit. Go a long way for you, buddy.
I don't know where I could find it. All right. I can't find it.
I mean, you're trying so hard, though. That was three
I don't know.
letters you just
Doesn't
typed.
matter. Joey C tweets out, Crazy Cabbie has passed away. And I'm not kidding you. If anyone can find it, he spelled past P-A-S-T.
There you have it, folks. Joey C is not an intelligent guy, according to Stuttering John. Now, the reason why I bring that up, you probably have seen clips like that before where John's constantly correcting people's spelling and grammar, and this is just another example of that. Well, Dr. Steve sent me this video I find kind of interesting. There's a doctor who's talking about how you can spot a narcissist. And I found this kind of interesting. This was the first thing this guy brought up on here.
I'll get started here with item number 1. This is the narcissist correcting other people's grammar. Now, of course, context is important here. Sometimes correcting somebody else's grammar is actually doing them a favor, or it's required as part of one's job. What I'm talking about here is correcting somebody's grammar when you don't have to, or when it's impolite to do so.
Or when you can't even find the thing that you're making fun of and correcting. You can't even find it. You're just referencing it after looking for it for 45 seconds.
What I find interesting about this particular strategy on the part of the narcissist is a situation that occurs sometimes where the narcissist knows somebody who's chronically using a word incorrectly. And the narcissist has to decide between making themselves look good, so correcting the person's grammar and getting that narcissistic gratification, or letting the other person continue to look bad, because that could also benefit the narcissist. For example, imagine a person who has to regularly refer to the title of a scholarly article. Let's say they want to refer to a person who wrote an article about major depressive disorder, like a review of major depressive disorder.
Of course, Steve sent this to me. This guy's a riot, isn't he? Pretty fun stuff. Let me skip through to another part in this, because everything he describes about how to spot a narcissist is Stuttering John to a T. And right down to lying about their IQ. It's unreal.
Speaking of intelligence, that brings me to item number 9. Narcissists lie about their performance on intelligence tests. Now, this is kind of a sensitive area because few people will challenge someone who states their IQ publicly.
Except for in the case of John, because he's obviously lying. He's making up his IQ. Royce called him on it years ago on his show. John admitted as much. And yet here we are still in 2024, John claiming to be a 161 IQ. Let me read. There's a list of things that he says are typical of narcissists. He says, grandiose sense of self-importance, check. Fantasies, check. John certainly has fantasies of still being in Hollywood, of going on auditions, being on a sitcom or something. Number 3 is special or unique. John thinks he's very special and very unique. You see it when he talks to the delivery person, tells him, just so you know, I'm a celebrity. That's why you're here right now, because I'm a celebrity. I'm famous. Number 4, requires excessive admiration. Oh, we're going to find out about that as Vince gets kicked off the show a couple of times on the episode yesterday, because John needs people licking his balls at all times. Number 5, sense of entitlement. Of course, I don't think I need to explain that. Number 6, manipulative. John is certainly manipulative. Number 7, lacks empathy for others. Number 8, often envious. Often envious. Very upset that other people have nice things and are doing well. It must be fake. They must be fake super chats. It must be fake money. It can't be real. And then number 9, arrogant attitudes or behaviors. So just kind of some fun stuff as John continues to prove that he suffers from a narcissistic personality disorder, as I think we can all tell at this point. So one of the things that John's been talking about is apparently someone was sending deliveries to John's mom's house, and his mom had a fall trying to answer the door. And John tries to act like this is so horrible and everyone should feel upset about this. Now remember, my show, Uncle Rico's show, Potato Soup, anyone who's talking about John, no one is telling people to send deliveries to their house. There's one guy who promotes that all the time, and that would be John's friend, Vince the lawyer. So John likes to use this as an opportunity to call out his enemies.
You're going to laugh at my mother falling? You think it's funny? Okay, Mike? Is it funny, Mike?
See, this is how you know he doesn't care about his mom, because he's going into performative John right now. This is John putting on his performance. He's acting. He wants to let you know how upset he is. This is all fake.
Okay.
Plus, he has a photo up of what he believes to be Mike's mom behind him. So if he's really trying to de-escalate things, this is not the way to go about it, obviously.
You get my point? Stop with the family horse shit.
Stop with the family horseshit. John has been doing nothing but family stuff for the past couple months. I can't tell you. John likes to say that I'm always talking about his kids and I'm showing his kids. I don't show his kids. The only time I ever showed his kid on the show was when there was an article written about Lily, and there was a photo of her in the article that I was reading. So I went through that, but I never show John's children. He's constantly showing my family. He's been showing videos of my wife nonstop lately, but John acts like he's the victim here. And everyone else is fucking with him and his family, and he's not doing it.
So, Silent Mike, you think it's funny that my mother fell?
Chug, chug, chug. Yeah, you really look very concerned about your mom there, John.
I'm happy to hear that.
Of course,
Happy to hear that.
Of course you are.
The amount of stuff I have on all of you.
Okay, so this is perfect because John is trying to play the victim. Oh, you like it when my 87-year-old mom falls down? Well, obviously I'm the victim and you're the asshole. And then immediately turns it into a threat. It's like, dude, you can't go from being a victim to threatening people with your information and weaponizing the information you have or whatever photos you have. We're going to see an example in a minute of John thinking he's weaponizing a photo that he has and just doing a very poor job. Just because you know what someone's family member looks like doesn't really do anything, John. I've mentioned this before. You posted many photos of family members of mine, and I'm still not sure what you accomplished with that. Let me thank some super chatters real quick. You guys are great. Turbo, 7049, $5. Agreed, Shuli pissing his pants is hilarious, but does it really warrant an emergency episode? This is not about Shuli pissing his pants. This is something very different. Joe Dicker, member for 8 months. John lying. That's impossible. I know it's nothing new, but I need to document this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out that John's obviously lying. I have a couple of different points that I'm going to make on that, because then that ties back to the things that John accuses me of doing and proves that John has a history of making up lies and then doubling and tripling down. So that's what we're going to demonstrate today. We're going to show that John is a liar. And so the fact that he says that I posted his book on my Patreon is a lie. It's a blatant lie. We all know it. And I just want to shut it down. It's enough already. Core diff, $10. John lies. Who knew? What are the chances? Eddie Valentino, $5. Since it's been revealed there was no graffiti, I bet Stut Joe will now say, of course there's no graffiti. They cleaned it off. FSJ. Yes, we are going to get to that. Very interesting occurrence on the creep off yesterday as Vinny called Stevie Tomatoes. I have that clip we'll be playing. DPM, $2. Please apply this towards your Cape Coral debacle. Thank you very much. Will do. Melissa Young gifted 1 membership. Thank you, Melissa. Turn on gifted memberships, everybody. Kitty gifted 1. Who are these podcast memberships? When you're a member, you get 2 bonus episodes every single month. We just had a game show on the channel that you can watch. They were recorded on this past Sunday. But we also have the entire live show from Largo is available for anyone who's a member or Patreon member on this channel. I got the time wrong from Bob, $2. Lady K, you mispronounced narcissist. Yes, correct. I forget. When it's John, it's a narcissist. Carl's Frosted Tips, been a member for 2 months. As the legal guardian of Carl's Tips, I am appalled and will be seeking legal action against John. You can't accuse my tips of vandalism and get away with it. Thank you, Carl's Frosted Tips. Thanks for having my back. Kitty gifted a membership. Thank you very much, Kitty. Michael C coming in with $2. Sorry, I split Mrs. Melendez in half. Skull. No one's splitting Mrs. Melendez in half. Billy, $2. Emergency. John is a narcissist. Holy shit, brilliant. It's all brilliant. All of this is brilliant. Kitty, $2. John loves lying. I think he does. I think John gets off on it, unlike me.
Lady K has not been wrong. If he says he's got proof, he's got proof.
That is correct, John. Truer words. Red 473, $10. Love and support to John and his new lifestyle. I hope he and the biker from the bar are very happy together. Butt stuff with hemorrhoids must be tough, though. Yeah, there's a chance that John's not about him. I would imagine word would get around in that community that would not be a fun time for people. Like, I'm gay and I'm still with people on their period? God damn it. American Cupcake became a new member. Thank you, American Cupcake. Mike V, $5. Is not surprised Shuli peed his pants. Maybe he got excited after seeing Terry. Listen, everyone pees their pants. It's the coolest. Dang Lizard, €5. Stuttering John Messiah, the holy dispenser of karmic justice, doesn't even stop for his own mother, who he brought into this Dabbleverse. Yeah, he did. He did bring his own mom into this Dabbleverse. That is a very good point. Shuli's backpack, $2. His children are grown adults. FSJ. Yes, they're not children. They're not children. Daniel Poon coming in with $5. For John, a day without lying is like a day without sunshine. He really is the perfect example of how not to live your life. He really is. You learn a lot from people. I've learned a lot from people throughout my life, and I think I learn more from people doing it wrong than I do from people doing it right. TJ, $2. Emergency broadcast equals I'm broke without John's super chat, please. I'm broke without John's super chat. Yes, correct. We got a lot of houses to pay for over here. American Cupcake, $5. For the graffiti legal defense fund. Thank you. Gonna need every dime of it for sure. AO 1012, $2. Vince the lawyer asking if Knight wants biological kids. Got me. I have that clip. I got that. Vincenzo, member 4 months. Agreed, Lady K. John is fat and he talks like a moron. Yes, that's one of my favorite drops that we hear over on the Shuli Network. Picture exactly, remember, for 1 month. Did you know your iPhone can expose your handwriting samples, but only to midget barristers? Yeah, I got that too. We got to talk about that. I'm glad you guys are paying attention to this. It's so insane. People are so dumb. JFK Head Chunk, $2. Stevie Tomatoes hates 5-year-olds. Last Sled, $18.99, $5. Vinny handled that call beautifully. Still would love to hear John tattling on Lady K's graffiti from that manager lady's or any staff's point of view. I know, I would too. I want to know if that actually happened, because now I have questions about the whole thing. Now that we heard that call. Apeshit Media, €2. Stumbling Joan. And a geezer, $5. Do you think Vince the Lawyer will cut John off soon only because he has seen him react to everything else? No, Vince the Lawyer needs John. It's the only thing that makes Vince the Lawyer interesting in this world is John. And they need each other. They have a very weird relationship, obviously. All right, let's get back to this. John is back in Canoga Park. He's back in California. He had to fly there from Florida, so he spent a week or so in Cape Coral at his house there. And lo and behold, John missed his flight.
Again, I missed my flight. I got up at 5 a.m. after watching the Yankees defeat the Astros for then the third time.
Whatever.
Who were trying to get on our flight on United. Now, I ain't using Spirit ever again going cross country. But the great thing about American and United is they immediately put me on the next flight, which was an hour later. And I was able to even catch the connecting, although I had to run like OJ through the airport in Newark and the armpit of New Jersey.
So somehow John went to Fort Myers Airport, a place I've been to many times, and he claims he got there with plenty of time, and yet somehow security was so backed up that he missed his flight. I'm not buying that at all. You slept in. You didn't get up at 5. You don't like getting up at 5. That's very early for you. You should book flights that are more convenient for your lifestyle. That would be my advice to you. But John says, okay, so big brag. He's no longer on Spirit Airlines or Frontier or whatever the fuck shitty airline he's on. Now he's got United. But his United flight connected him from Fort Myers to Newark, New Jersey. Now, I know that there's some people who aren't Americans who watch the program. I appreciate your guys' support. Let me explain this. Typically, when you get a connection, your connection is somehow on the way to your destination. You don't typically fly in the opposite direction for 3 hours. I'm not making this up. Fort Myers to Newark is a 3-hour flight, and it takes you further away from LA. A direct flight, Fort Myers to LA, is 5 hours, 40 minutes. A direct flight from Newark to LA is 6 hours. So he drove 3 hours to gain an extra 20 minutes on his flight to LA. This is what poor people do. Because John's looking for the best deal. That's why he had to get up so early. He had to find the flight that was the cheapest in order to not spend a lot of money, but then it's too early and the connection sucks and everything sucks about it. John, every time you provide details, this is why we know you didn't go to Jamaica when you said you went to Jamaica back in September, whatever that was. Whenever you provide details, it's hilarious. Your lifestyle is dumb. You live your life like a dumb guy. So then John finally gets back to California. And what does he do when he gets back to LA?
And then hop on the flight. And I got here at 3 in the afternoon, and got to the pub by 4, only to find out it was closed because it was Easter. I got some nice texts from my kids.
So notice where his mind went immediately. He went, oh shit, I just revealed I'm a loser who tried to go and day drink at a bar on Easter Sunday. I better cover that up by saying my family loves me. I got some nice texts from my kids. Well, maybe they responded to your text. Maybe. I don't know. But it seems kind of odd to me that your first thought on Easter Sunday was to go to the pub. And that's, hilarious. Obviously, John laughs that one off. Good stuff, John. All right. So after this, John wants to make up. So Crazy Cabbie passed away. Now, Crazy Cabbie, radio personality. He's the guy that John fought in the boxing ring. This is the guy that John's biggest victory of his life, probably, aside from getting the job on the Tonight Show and telling everyone to fuck off on Howard Stern. I think probably if he had to relive the biggest moments of his life, it's probably the Crazy Cabbie fight. So Cabbie passing away at the age of 55 gives John an opportunity to relive some glory days. Whenever John tries to do a tribute to someone, he fails miserably, as we've seen. So John decides that this is where he's going to make up a silly lie.
I'm very happy to hear from Baba Booey. That's right. Gary Delabate has reached out to me, and he and Howard want me to come on this Thursday to talk about, to reminisce about Crazy Cabbie and everything, and also to talk about just what the fuck the Dabbleverse is. So tune in on Thursday.
Yeah. Gary Delabate reached out to you to find out what the Dabbleverse is about, John. Yep. I'm buying that, especially because, obviously John knows this. Everyone knows that Howard's not on Thursdays, but I think he did that on purpose. This is John's hilarious April Fool's prank. We're all going to go, what? John's going back on the Howard Stern show to talk about the Dabbleverse and Crazy Cabbie? Wow! John, you totally fooled us, just like you did in 2022 when you wrote, when you tweeted out, I just got a call from @Gary Delabate asking me to come on the show. Should I do it? That was his April Fool's Day prank 2 years ago. And then last year, on April 1st, 2023, I had a great conversation with Baba Booey last night, and I look forward to coming on for the reunion show this month. It'll be fun to see Howard and the gang again. Now, one of the things you'll notice about these lame April Fool's Day pranks that are the same every year is how the engagement is slowing down. This, in 2022, 800 likes, almost 600 comments, 31 retweets, and then he does it again last year, and it's 300 likes, 100 comments, 18 retweets, and then he does it again this year, and it's 93 comments, 136 likes. I'm thrilled that @Stern Show, @Gary Delabate have asked me to come on this week to reminisce and talk about just what the fuck the Dabbleverse is. I'll be on this Thursday. Stay tuned. Good one, John. You totally fooled us again. Wow. There's egg on our face. We're a bunch of marks, John. Wow, you got us. He really thinks that we're all as stupid as he is. That's the beauty of Stuttering John. That's the beauty of dumb people. They try to trick you with shit that would trick them because they're dumb. It's like, you do this every year. We're not buying it. Howard Stern will never talk to you again. Never. It's not going to happen. If your funeral took place a block from his house, he wouldn't attend. And I'm not saying that to be a dick. It's just true. It's just the truth. All right. So then John thinks he has a photo of Patrick Melton's wife or girlfriend. I don't know. I haven't met this person. Hopefully I'll get to know Patrick and his family better when we're out in Vegas for Hackamania, hackamania.com, WATP for 20% off. So whenever John gets a photo or any information, he tries to weaponize it. And so this is John putting up a photo of, I guess, Patty's girl behind him.
Hello. I guess you like big fat fucks. Nice fake hairstyle. Nice glasses. Who are you, Adrian from Rocky? There's a face only a fat fuck could love.
That's an attractive woman. John, you would probably trample over all three of your children to have that girl touch your penis. That's a very attractive girl that you're looking at and trying to pretend like, oh, isn't this gross? Isn't this awful? What are you talking about, John? I mean, you got to pick a different angle, I guess, if that's what you're going to go for. He's trying to say that Her nose is, he said her eyes are big. Yeah, no one likes big eyes. No one likes big blue eyes on a girl. Gross. Trying to say her nose is big. She's 3 times the size of him proportionally, and her nose is the same size as his. So none of it makes any sense. He's not good at this. Let's get caught up real quick on the super chat. I want to see what you guys are thinking about this so far. Mike V says, I'd like to do Terry while Mike Morris watches. Mike might be into that. I don't know. Ryan Gallagher, $2. He thinks he is funnier than Kumia. Enough said. He does think he's funnier than Kumia. He said that before. Bob's Fake Fool, $2. Ray wants to know if this is a work. Oh my gosh. They were playing that on BS show this morning. I guess it was a My Lost Interest clip where Ray just would not stop asking Joey C about this work. But what was the work? What was the work? What's the work? That's some interview style you got. Nate G, $2 says, heard Stevie Tomato will be in Las Vegas. Head on a swivel. Uh-oh. Coming for revenge. I got the time wrong from Bob, $5. John is a narcissist? What? Next, we're going to tell me he's an alcoholic and stupid. Oh, wait. He is an alcoholic and stupid. We'll get to that. 06 Denali, $5. Thanks, Carl. My wife and I enjoy your show immensely. Well, thank you very much. I hope that your wife is real. You're not just saying that for street cred. The Black Cast, $2. Rich people never get to the airport before noon. Yeah, I don't know if you're making a joke, Christian. It's hard to tell with you sometimes. But honestly, I stopped booking those crack of dawn flights a while ago. You know, I was watching Mitch Hedberg had an interview. And the guy asked him, how do you know you're successful? Or what's the definition of success? And Mitch Hedberg said, I'll never forget it because it really sticks with me. He's like, I never have to wear clothes I don't want to, and I never set an alarm. And I thought, bingo. That's it right there. Johnny Stengel, $5. I rigged Ossie's house with tripwires. Wait until she sits on the turlet. Skull. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine? That's like some VTL type trolling right there. Mike V, $2. Would you like a handy from Terry? I think so. Saudi Hamad, 25 something or others. John's stupidity is transcending continents and has reached us here in Saudi Arabia. That's amazing. I am still blown away whenever I see Europeans and Australians and Asians watching this show. It's fan-fucking-tastic. I love it. Dang Lizard. Speaking of, Dang Lizard with €2. Are you going to mention Cardiff, who put the tweets up? Yes, thank you. Cardiff is the one who put those tweets up. Thank you, Cardiff. Hazard Forward, $10 says, I wouldn't know what John tweets. I'm blocked, but Cardiff did put those up. Thank you. Hazard Forward, $10 says, had a great time in Largo. Drove up from Miami and was able to meet Carl, Andy, and Vinny. Show was awesome, FSJ. Well, thank you very much for coming up to the show. We had a blast. And honestly, everyone who was there seemed to have a really good time. We did the meet and greet ahead of time. We did the show. Then we went out to the karaoke bar. People hung out real late. A lot of fun. GMB 627, which is why you should come out to Vegas. These are events. These are fun events. New member, thank you very much for that. Mike V, $2. I'm thirsty and would like to drink some Terry juice. Well, I mean, Terry's attractive. I get it. Mr. Majestic, $2. Hate to defend him, but once had Orlando, Detroit, New York. Well, that's not a defense of anyone, sir. That's not a good flight pattern either. Mike V, $2. Tell Mike Morris Terry has a nice landing strip. And Pickles Melendez with £2 says, big fan, Carl. We speak your name, FSJ. Well, thank you very much, Pickles Melendez. All right, should we get into John lying? Let's get into that real quick because my boy Penis Wrinkle, God damn, I would love to shake Penis Wrinkle's hand. I hope I get to meet him someday because he's constantly in there super chatting John. And it's annoying to John, but John needs the money, so he lets him in there. He lets him do it. So he asks about John lying about this graffiti at Stevie Tomatoes. If you don't know, let me just back up real quick. This has been an ongoing saga, but if you don't know, apparently John had to take a shit while he was at Stevie Tomatoes. He sits down in the second stall, whatever he said it was, and he looks up and the door says FSJ FKB. And John took a photo of that. And then he told the manager, and he was on a show with Vince, and Vince convinced him that it was my handwriting. So then John decided he knew it was me. So then he's trying to get Stevie Tomatoes to invoice me the money it costs to clean the graffiti. And so that's kind of where we're at right now with this, is John's convinced that I was at Stevie Tomatoes recently and I put graffiti in the stall that said, fuck Stuttering John, fuck Kevin Brennan.
What's your response to lying about Carl graffitiing Stevie Tomatoes? He did. Unless there's somebody else who lives in Cape Coral that makes the same S in the unique way that he does. Gabe.
Okay. We're going to get into all of that. John is so stupid. It's unbelievable to me that when John wants to believe something, he has very little critical thinking around it. He doesn't question it. He doesn't ask questions. We have a bunch of clips of Vince, again, trying to convince him he knows what my handwriting looks like with crazy, outlandish reasons why he would know what it looks like. And so Vince has convinced John that that's my handwriting because of the way the S was drawn in the FSJ. And so we were on the creep off. Now, I called Stevie Tomatoes on WATP this past weekend, got hung up on very quick when I mentioned graffiti. So I asked Vinny Paulino, my co-host on the creep off, to give them a call. Let's see what went down.
Hold on. We'll get back to that.
I thought.
She said she does butt stuff there, I heard.
Thank you for calling Stevie Tomatoes, Pine Island. This is Danny speaking. How may I help you?
Hi, Danny. Can I speak with the manager real quick?
This is the manager.
Hi, Danny. My name's Vinny. I'm calling you from a show called The Creep Off, and I just wanted to get to the bottom of this graffiti thing in the bathroom.
What's that?
I just wanted to get to the bottom of this thing with the graffiti in the bathroom. My friend
Who
was
is
accused. My name is Vinny. I'm calling from a show called The Creep Off, and my buddy was accused of doing graffiti in the bathroom.
Can you guys just stop? It's harassment at this point.
Oh, I'm not trying to harass.
Just stop. It's a restaurant. Just stop already. It's ridiculous. So, what are we, 5?
I am not 5, no, ma'am. I just want to make sure my friend isn't
well,
like
you
Bill.
guys are all acting like you're 5, writing bad reviews and all that. Just
oh
stop.
my gosh, we have nothing. We have
Just
nothing
stop.
to do with that. We have nothing to do with that. I just want to make sure that my co-host isn't blamed for this and is billed because somebody said that
really,
going to be billed.
Stop. There's no graffiti here. Just stop.
Okay, no problem, man.
Just stop. It's
no
so
problem.
ridiculous.
You will never hear my voice again. You have a beautiful
Thank
day,
you.
and I'm sorry to bother you.
Appreciate that.
No problem. I appreciate it too.
Wow, slamming the receiver down yet again. There is no graffiti, according to Stevie Tomatoes. Now, are they trying to just diffuse this and move on? I don't know. Maybe. John did show a photo of it. Is he the one that drew it on there? Did someone send it to him? Is it written somewhere else? I don't know. These things I don't know. What I do know is that I wasn't in Cape Coral. I wasn't the one who did this, obviously. And the manager herself is saying, you heard it right there, there is no graffiti. So that's good. Whoa. Whew. Guess I'm off the hook on that one. I wasn't sure what the invoice was going to be for that. So that's very exciting. So Penis Rinko continues on to prove that John is a liar because John says, and smug John once again comes on and says, Carl, they have surveillance footage of you going into the bathroom. We know it was you. There's proof of it. And this is again where John tries to fool people in the way that he would be fooled, and he tries to intimidate people in the way that he would be intimidated. So John thinks that by saying, we have video evidence of it, Carl, you're busted, thinks it's going to scare me because it would scare him. Now, John, I wasn't in Stevie Tomatoes. I'm not the one who did this. So you're wrong about that, and you're lying when you say that they have video footage because he says that he talked to the manager. You just heard the manager. She wants nothing to do with this. But John claims he talked to the manager, and they went in, and they reviewed the tape, and they saw me in there, and he was showing them the photo of me. I mean, you would think that John was on CSI or something, the way that he's explaining how this all went down. So they figured out that it was me because of the tape. And so Penis Wrinkle is going to explain that John is a liar.
Thanks for the 2 bucks. Carl hasn't been reported for a month. There's no tape. Liar. Okay, whatever you say. Then how do you explain his gig in Tampa, you dumb fuck?
Okay. You're right, John. I was in Florida. It's a pretty big state. It's the penis state, they call it. It's a big shaft of a state. And so, yes, I was in Florida. I was not at Stevie Tomatoes. I was in the Tampa area, Clearwater, Largo, St. Pete's, not Cape Coral. But John says, oh, no, I have proof that Carl did it. He did a live show just 130 miles away from here. So obviously, that's the deal. And so John continues to lie about this.
Draw an S on stream. I want to see something. Oh, get the fuck out of here. Carl was in Florida. He had just done a gig in Tampa. He was there. Someone saw him in Florida. It's his handwriting. So just don't bother trying to fucking defend this idiot.
Someone saw him in Florida. This is what I'm talking about when John likes to double and triple down on his lies. So John came up with the lie that I posted the entire MP3 of his book, Easy for You to Say, on my Patreon. I did not. And when it started, John said my buddy saw it. And then it turned into him and his buddy. And then it turned into him and his buddy and the publisher. And then it turned into him, his buddy, the publisher, and Patreon. All saw this link that I posted to John's entire MP3 of his book without commentary. And so you see how John just creates these lies and then just continues to evolve the lies over time, because that's happening right now. I was not at Stevie Tomatoes. We have proof of that, obviously. John saying, no, there's video footage. Someone even saw him there. Now he's making up that I was spotted while I was there. The chatters thankfully have my back.
Tampa to Cape Coral, 131.4 miles. Cabbie won. Yeah, so I drove there. Penis wrinkle. Carl proved he wasn't in Cape Coral on his show. Do research. Yeah.
John, I wasn't in Cape Coral. I was 131 miles away. I got a rental car. We did a live show. We hung out. We had the date with Lucy at Clearwater on Saturday, and then I flew back on Sunday. And John's just convinced that, no, I was in Florida, so it had to be me. And I wasn't there. But John insists, like, he's so deep in this lie now. He's just like, no. You can't say that's not the case, because Carl has to be the liar in this, right?
Penis wrinkle. Okay. Yeah, he didn't prove shit. He's a liar. Lady K is a liar.
I'm a liar, John? You see how he starts darting his eyes around? I was like, oh shit, I'm really getting caught here. Well, I'll just talk about his character, say he's a liar, and that way you can't question me anymore. No, John, you are actually the liar. You lie all the time. You lied about buying a house in New Mexico. You lied about writing for a trivia app for some reason. You lied about getting fired from your job as a substitute teacher. You're still substitute teaching. There's photographic evidence of this. What was the name of the school that I said he was teaching at? Like Fairfax or something like that. And when we first brought it up to him, John goes, well, Fairfax? What is that? Is that over? Oh, I don't even know what that is. Is that in Hollywood? And then a week later, he's like, and he's saying that I'm working at Fairfax. You know how far of a drive that is for me? You got to go up over the hill. It's like, okay, now all of a sudden you know exactly where it is and how far of a drive it is. A week ago, you never even heard of it before. You weren't sure. He's such a fucking liar. He gets caught all the time lying. And this is another example. But the big thing is here, the reason why this whole thing is so stupid is because John's convinced I'm the one who wrote that at Stevie Tomatoes, even though I wasn't there and I didn't write it, because Vince the Warrior told him that's my handwriting. And so John never questioned why Vince would say that. How would he know what my handwriting looks like? Thankfully, his chat is asking these questions.
KMac3344, thanks for the $2. When have you seen Carl's handwriting? No, Vince is the one who saw it. I'm glad you're back, Vince, to answer that question.
Yeah, I've seen it on multiple things. I mean, he's always texting me things like that and showing me his
But how do you see his handwriting?
Because every now and then he'll do there's a function, John, on the phone where you can sign your name.
Oh, okay. So you've seen it.
Yeah.
All right, show of hands in the chat. How many people have texted their signature to someone? And John just quickly wants to believe it, so he just goes, oh, okay, so you have seen it. No, I've never texted Vince with my signature. Also, here's a crazy thing you guys aren't going to believe. There's no S's in my name. So when Vince says he knows what my S's look like because he's seen my signature, that makes zero fucking sense. How is John no critical thinking skills at all from this dummy? John, you're a moron. You think you can analyze politics? You can't even figure out that Vince is lying to you right now, and it's so obvious. Vince is making this obvious for everyone but you. You're brain dead. You're an idiot. But I love that he goes, well, yeah, how would you know what his handwriting looks like? Oh, because we text. Well, hold on a second. What do you mean because you text? You know, like your phone, you can sign it. Like, oh, yeah, I've done that. Okay, never mind. Wait, what? What do you mean you've done that? Yeah, we've all had to sign a screen before, but not when we're corresponding with friends, John. That's not usually how that works. So another guy calls him out on this, and John does not want to hear it.
The master puppet, thanks for the fiber. There is a function on your phone where you sign your name. LOL. Been testing since it was invented. Never sent anyone else to do invents. No, there is a function to do that. And I know there is because I've done it. I just didn't think about it when you initially. Have been talking about Army Major's wife again. No, we're over that. I'm not going.
Oh my God, John, you're not understanding. You're not even understanding what people are writing. They're giving you money and writing these things to you, and you're still not understanding. You're not picking up what they're putting down. So this guy's frustrated. He comes back. He's like, John, why aren't you understanding this?
Here, this is the master puppet. Thanks for the fiber. Missed my point, John. Why would Carl send Vince his signature over text? Think for like 2 seconds, John. Well, why don't you explain yourself, Vince?
John, and by the way, John, there's a
Oh, by the way, all right, this is Vince changing the subject. This is how you know Vince is lying. I mean, Vince is always lying, but this is not one of his better jobs of it. And of course, John, being as dumb as he is, lets this go. And you would think there'd be a follow-up question or two. He wouldn't let him get away with this. Not our boy Johnny. Not dumb.
Vince's signature over text. Think for like 2 seconds, John. Well, why don't you explain yourself, Vince?
Yeah, think for like 2 seconds, John. Think for like 2 seconds. He reads it, but he doesn't think for 2 seconds.
John, and by the way, John, there's a multitude of documents with Carl's signature on it. I remember when you guys moved to Cape Coral, everyone was showing all the documents that you had to sign to purchase the real property.
My name doesn't have an S in it, retard.
Yes. And in fact, I think when I sent him the cease and desist, he had to sign that document. So I probably have some signed stuff by him.
I didn't have to sign any. Dude, your cease and desist meant nothing to me. I didn't have to sign anything, you moron.
Carl's frosted tips, which is the weirdest look that I've seen on him. I thought for sure he was transitioning.
Whoa. You thought I was transitioning because I lost a bet to Bob about the Bills game? Huh. You have a son who transitioned. How into football is he? That's a weird thing to say, right? For a guy who's embracing the LGBTQ community. The guy dyed his hair. I thought he was transitioning. Is that supposed to be a sick burn? What the fuck is wrong with you, John? Whose side are you on? Every now and again, I feel like John can get a show on Compound Media the way he talks. He should maybe lead into that. That'd be a fun way to go. John, you're not long for this world. Why not just like go 180 on it? Have some fun with it. Richard Ojeda will probably still hang by your side. Talk about curb stopping queers or something. I don't know. I don't know what you two get up to. All right, this is the last one on just John being a liar, and then we'll move on from it because he's so stupid.
Carl claimed he wasn't in Cape Coral during the time for which that thing was written on the bathroom at Stevie Tomatoes. Do you believe him?
No, because he did a show in Tampa. Why wouldn't he visit his house 2 hours away?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, well, I'll answer that for you, John. There's a number of reasons. One of them being that I have tenants in my house right now. And Vince should know that because Vince is the asshole who looked up my house because he wanted to rent it out so you guys could shit on the walls, remember? Remember you were going to pee in the pool and shit on the walls? And so if you wanted to know if my house was rented or not, you could go to that website and see if it's available right now. It's not. Why wouldn't Carl drive 2.5 hours to his house? Well, because I was doing a live show in Largo. It has nothing to do with visiting my house. You fucking idiot. Have I made my point? I think I made my point. Let's get back to some super chats. And then I have a lot of fun stuff that we haven't gotten to yet. the Crazy Cabbie stuff, the In and Out with Vince the lawyer, and you guys, the clip I have to end this episode today is a doozy. Let me just say that. Blackcast, I was serious. Successful gentlemen travel midday. All right. I thought you were, Christian. I don't know. I don't know what you're going for. Daniel Poon, $5. Since you are into graffiti, now what's your tagger name? Oh, since you are into graffiti now, what's your tagger name? Burgermeister or Frosty T? Let me think about that. Weird Medicine became a new member. Thank you, Dr. Steve. Smooches to you, my friend. Joseph Collins, $2. Any WATP Boston plans? That would be awesome. FSJ. We're talking about Boston. I have a feeling there's going to be a Boston show this year. Oh my, holy crap. I freaking love this guy right here. I can't say enough about this guy. Dr. Steve.
Yay, super chats.
Dr. Steve gifting 10. Who are these podcast memberships? Thank you, Dr. Steve. That is much appreciated. Turn on your gifted memberships and get all the bonus content we put behind the paywall. Matthew Raleigh, $5. I noticed you pushing Dang Lizard the Enlightened to explain the turn. Who are you to question the Great Lizard? All will be revealed in good time. Listen, Matthew Raleigh, I don't want any trouble with you or Dang Lizard, all right? I'm not looking for trouble here, guys. Senile Drunkard, $5. So you're okay with Melton posting and trashing John's trans son on his stupid wall for a money grab? Nice friends you keep, you giant dork. Did I say I was okay with that? See, the problem is that John wants to have it both ways. He wants to fight family member versus family member, but then he also wants to be the victim. And I think one thing I'll say about Patrick Melton, while you notice I don't post photos of John's children or his trans son on here, but Patrick doesn't act like he's a victim. Pickles Melendez, £2. Breaking news, Stuttering John is still a liar. Yes, he is. We proved it. Mike V, $2. Why is Shuey's wife so big? Let's discuss. You know what? I don't have that package prepared for today. Lionel Hutz with $2 Australian. Do you think John believes he will live forever? Yeah, I think he's childlike in that way. Regretta Melendez. All right, I see what you did there. My Mensa Papa wouldn't lie, Carla. All right, fair enough. 06 Denali, $5. Carl, my wife is real and loves you and Penis Wrinkle, and we still have an 06 Yukon Denali. Thanks again for your entertainment. Well, thank you, and thanks to your wife. I'm glad you guys enjoy the show and check it out. Hoagie Boy, $2. Don't F with the bull in the glass house if you can't fly. Bully 202, I heard Carl is saying VTL has a spectrum disorder. That is correct. Mike V, $2. Is Shuey mad because his wife eats so much? I don't know. I mean, food I think is cheap where he lives. Jeff Spangler, $2. Water is wet. SJ is a liar. All is well. I get it. It's pretty obvious at this point. Dang Lizard, €5. Emergency show. Who cares? Everyone is just waiting for potential Tukey soup. TWO.
Tukey World Order. TWO.
Lionel Hutz, please play Skull and Boom. Quick repeat, air horn style. Well, I have this.
Boom!
Got that for you. I got some booms coming up from John in just a moment.
Yay, super chats.
ASE presents gifting 10. Who are these podcast memberships? And I want to thank Mint Salad and Riley, but Mint Salad did our poster for the live show in Largo and then wasn't able to make it. So I will have one in the mail to you, Mint. They came out fantastic. Thank you so much. And thanks for gifting 10 memberships. Buddy Lee, $2. Mike V is VTL, FSJ, FVTL. Funeral director, $5. Terry DeBerry, a lady sweet as cherry. Terry DeLady, a crazy man want to marry. Hashtag Mike Hypocrite. Hashtag rules for thee, not for me. Hashtag Casey Armstrong for president. Hashtag Casey 2024. All right, we got some mixed messages going on there. DJ Davies, $5. With all the bad reviews, can Stevie Tomatoes sue SJ for harassment and damages? You heard the manager. She's feeling like it's borderline harassment at this point. Mike V, $2. Mike Morris cried like a baby when Terry left. Loser. Well, I think that when people's wives leave them, you can be pretty emotionally distraught by that. I got the time wrong from Bob, $5. What? I can't get John's audiobook from your Patreon. I demand a refund. That's the only reason I signed up. No, it's true. I do not make that available, even though John advertises that for me quite a bit. That is not the case. Dang Lizard, €2. Carl, just admit you shoved SJ's mom down the stairs. That is not the case, Dang Lizard. How dare you? How dare you with these false accusations like that? This is crazy. All right. So Vinny joined the show, as we've seen here. And of course, John was out of the Vinny business. He was never going to talk to him again. It was over. He reminded Vinny of that on a daily basis. And then because everything in John's world is fake, and you can't believe anything he says, I'm convinced John and Kevin Brennan are the same person at this point. They come on there and they are very emotional and they're very upset and they'll never talk to Chad Zumach again or Vince the Lawyer or whoever it is. And then 3 weeks later, they're back on the show. It's like, oh, well, what's the point of listening to you if you're just a liar? If you have no, I don't know. It just seems to me, people like that, they're a waste. It's a waste of time to listen to people like John, because here he is with Vince again. And we're talking about John showed off his motorcycle recently in his garage, and John was looking like he was in pretty good shape.
Oh, yeah. Carl was saying that it's probably an old picture, because why do you have a box of a picture of a
So, John, if you're watching this, I just want to point out, Vince does this thing. He was like, oh, yeah, Carl was saying blah, 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 which I wasn't. I don't really talk about you very much. It's been a while, so I haven't really had a chance to comment on this photo. So Vince just makes this up and acts like, oh, yeah, Carl was saying this. And Vince is always lying to you, Jen. He's always lying, just so you know. Just FYI, heads up. You fall for it, but he's always lying.
Oh, yeah. Carl was saying that it's probably an old picture, because why do you have a box of a picture of a TV there?
That's not a TV box. What an idiot.
It looks like a generic TV box.
No, all my paintings and my sports memorabilia, and everything goes in those kind of boxes. Man, these guys are conspiracy lunatics. That's me. There's my Pink Floyd shirt from the day before. I mean, give me a fucking break.
Well, John, in fairness, I was on Carl's side with that, because you look so goddamn fit there.
I am fit, Vince. I've been telling you, I've been working out and fucking and eating right.
Yeah, because when I was looking at you underneath the covers, you did not look like that.
Okay, here we go.
Seriously, you know you must have made gains since we left Atlantic City then.
Melton's wife is gorgeous. Cheers to him. I don't think she's gorgeous. I don't even give a fuck, because soon it ain't going to be just a picture.
But I don't understand how that attacks Melton by putting up a picture of his hot wife.
Because I don't think she's hot. You didn't know using.
All right. A lot going on right here. But it seems like even Vince doesn't believe that that's a photo of John from this week, because 6 weeks ago when John was in Atlantic City, he was built very differently. And he says he's been eating right, and he shows his Boost protein drink, which I don't think that's the definition of eating right, but okay. So according to John, he's lost a ton of weight, and maybe that's true. I hope that's true. I want John to be healthy. I want him to do well. But it seems unrealistic that a guy who's 58 years old would lose so much weight in 6 weeks while still drinking 10 to 20 beers every day. So I don't know. Maybe he's working out and it's working for him and he looks a lot better. Who knows? That I can't have a definitive answer on. All right, so then this fun super chat comes on and Vince forces John to read it.
Ruby the Box Dog, thanks for the fiber. Tell night, I don't know. This is just something trash.
Well, John, you got to read it. I mean, what does it say?
Don't tell me what I got to do on my own.
Well, it's annoying, John, when people pay money and I'm making fun of the dues payer for not doing it. And then if I go on a show and they do the same thing, I'm the hypocrite.
Well, it didn't make any sense. Go ahead. Try and read it.
Tell Knight to coat hanger that thing before another defective queer Melendez is spawned.
There you go. So there, are you happy, Vince? There you go.
Does Knight want to have biological kids?
James O'Sullivan.
John does not want to talk about that. So John goes, doesn't make any sense. No, it makes perfect sense. Of course, there's speculation that John's son Knight might be pregnant. And I brought this up because I heard that rumor. And then John went on his show and kept exclaiming, there was big news. Everyone's happy in the Melendez family. So I was like, well, what is that all about? he kept saying he wouldn't say what it was, but everyone's real happy, which leads people to speculate. So that was the speculation, and that's what the voicemailer is talking about. And Vince wants to know if Knight would have biological children. John does not answer that question. And actually, John's getting frustrated with Vince, so Vince has to go.
Ruby the Boxer Dog, thanks for the fiber. How many inches of okay, there we go. Okay. I'm done. I'm done. He's being a fucking asshole. I can't handle when he's an asshole. And I'm not gonna, I'm not in the mood.
Remember, a narcissist needs you to agree with them at all times. And so you can't have someone on there who would push back on you. But he got mad at Vince there. Vince didn't even say anything. The super chat says, how many inches of cock have been down sweet little Oscar's windpipe, if you can guess? Which isn't appropriate to talk about someone's son like that. But I don't see Vince even smirking or anything. And then John gets upset with that person and knocks Vince off. Oh, but good news. Vince has a lot of sock accounts and has the link, so was able to come back again.
What do you want, Vince? Vince?
Hey, what's going on?
What do you want?
No, I'm watching this big baby back down from Cabbie.
All right. Focus on topic.
You got it.
Spray.
Oh, and you know what? I forgot to mention, I played the first time Vince got kicked off. Here's the second time he got kicked off.
It's just, you know what? And I don't want to talk about my kids. I don't want to talk about fucking all the shit you want to talk about. And then you try and if I can say I'm a narcissist because I don't want to apologize. Then I have to come up with a fucking recent.
Wait, you said he was a what? A narcissist? What was that, John?
Trying if I can say I'm a narcissist because I don't want to apologize. Then I have to come up with a fucking recent incident. You know what? Just get the fuck out of here. I'm done with you. I'm done. You're banned. I don't want you.
Ugh. It means nothing. All of it just means nothing. He just brings him right back on multiple times throughout the exact same show. And he gets upset because Vince likes to point out that he's a narcissist. He doesn't like that. How many syllables are there in the word narcissist, John? Do you think? Oh, take your time on that answer. This is fun because I do think, so Brock Lee comes on and gives a reason why John should have Vince back on the show. And I do think that this might be Vince's kryptonite because I see Vince laugh everything off, but this is the one thing he doesn't seem to like.
And then he goes, I thought so. And now he's begging to come back in again. How about we do what Brock Lee is saying? Brock Lee, my man. Thanks for the 20. Vince should only be allowed back on the show without a hat on. Why is he embarrassed of his hairline? Also, no hats allowed at the Belmont Tavern. Happy Easter to you all. Vince, I got to go with Brock Lee here. If you want to come on, no hat.
So he's looking down at Vince. Vince is obviously saying,
yeah,
Vince is obviously saying that's not going to happen. Vince is so embarrassed by his hair. He's very embarrassed by his hairline. He's always wearing a ball cap. He got it ripped off his head that one time in AC. And, he looks like he's got the hairstyle of a Muppet. So I guess that's embarrassing for him because, like I said, the guy laughs off everything. The first time I had him on this show, he certainly made a point to call me out for everything that I have going on. But for whatever reason, he gets very upset. That might be a fun game if Vince shows up to another live event. See if he can hide his hat. Take his hat off his head and see if you can hide it. Is that an act of violence? I hope that's not an act of violence. Someone tell me if I'm promoting violence right now. I hope I'm not. All right. So now they finally start doing this Crazy Cabbie tribute. That's really just John goofing on Shuley because he's watching video of Cabbie and Shuley fighting. And then it's John praising himself because he's watching video of the lead up to the boxing match. And John even gets sidetracked and just starts goofing on me for some reason.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it was close. That's cool.
Yeah, hey, Lady K, did you ever get a publishing deal from Warner Music for $110,000? You dumb fuck.
This is some tribute to Cabbie.
I know, I'm sorry.
Hey, John, you ever get your dick wet in the year 2023? Jesus Christ, this fucking guy. He can't help himself, though. He's constantly has to take his shots because he's very jealous of me. He's very envious of what we do over here, which I understand. I'm much better at this than he is. So they ask, what does the word flunky mean? This was the flunky versus the junkie. That was the name of this fight. And of course, Crazy Cabbie's the junkie. John was the flunky. You would think that John would know what that means, considering he's the flunky in this. But also, I just want to point out that, you know what? Let's play that one first. Oh shit, I don't have that clip. I fucked up. I have John watching the fight and yelling boom as he lands his punches, and he misses. These are not real punches.
Underway. Big right hand by Stuttering John, and they lock up. Cabbie pounding him to the midsection. John needs to escape. John with an overhand right.
These aren't even real punches. He's barely touching the back of the guy's head. He's yelling boom. Like, no wonder John thought he won this fight. He thinks that those actually count as something. I don't know what I did with that clip. I might have saved over it. Damn it. But there was a clip where John doesn't know what flunky means. And again, Vince Lawyer's like, oh yeah, Carl was saying the other day, you didn't blah, blah. And so then John looks it up. So it means like a lackey. I think the term that's on Google is manservant. And John sees it. And it makes sense because John would clean the shit off Howard's shoes and microwave the potato. He was the flunky. But John sees the manservant. He goes, oh yeah. I was like a foot soldier. That's why. No, that's not what that means at all, John. Not even close. All right, I have a really fun clip coming up. Let's get caught up on the super chats, guys. Thank you so much. You've been very generous today. I really do appreciate that. This has been a fun show. Mike V, $2. I'm not Vince the Lawyer, but thanks for the compliments, all. Ruby the Boxer Dog, $2. I got him good on this one. In as $10. My husband, Phil and Sil, all have high IQs. I have known these smarties for 40 years, so I can absolutely say SJ is a dummy. Maybe a bit slow, too. I would agree with that. Oliver Hernandez, member for 8 months. John happened to go to Florida during the school spring break. Oh, yeah. That's a good point. I wonder why. That was his vacation. Wendy's Cat, $2. Changed my 5-star to not 5-star after Stevie Tomatoes' Karen call. Huh. I don't know why you would do that, Wendy's Cat. We were just trying to get to the bottom of things. So this is what you do on a show. Ruby the Boxer Dog, $5. It warms the cackles of my heart watching Vince the Lawyer clown this monkey. It is fun. I'm not going to lie. That part is fun. Mark Batista, $5. John accuses you when you're already home. When he has Sharpie on his finger a day after he bought Sharpies. I know. John's very bad at this. John's very bad at making a case. Funeral Director, $2. Carl Hamburgers has an S in it, sir. Well, yeah, you're right. If I do plural my name, I suppose. Fucking idiot. Mike V, $2. Please ask Shuli if he hates doing his big wife. I will. I'll text him in a minute. Wino Huts, $5 Australian dollars. Stud Joe blocked me because I made him say if the muff has fluff, she's old enough. He clearly agrees with it based on how his kids turned out. Boom. Dabble Don Dada, $2. Vince isn't lying to John. They're in it together. Oh, I disagree. John would not be allowed to look as foolish as he does if he was in on it. Pest is a member for 1 month. Did Vince the Lawyer try and manage your channel? You hear how he scanned like 5 YouTube channels. It's on Kiwi Farms. No, he never did try to manage my channel, but I know what you're talking about. And I remember when he took over Stuttering John's channel. I remember when he took over Shuli's channel. It's a very distinct look. You can tell when Vince is managing a channel. I got the time wrong from Bob, $5. As if your touchscreen signature looks like your physical signature. That's true too. I just scribble and call it a day. Another $5 from I got the time wrong from Bob. As if any adult signature is more than indecipherable scribbles. Right. I know. It's so stupid. No critical thinking at all. Joe Dicker, $2 Canadian. No S in your name. Carla Sheberger lies. Yeah, good point. Got me there. Depending on which joke name I'm citing, there may or may not be an S in my name. Lionel Hutz, $5. John is like Homer Simpson without the likable redeeming qualities, and if Homer was diagnosed with schizophrenia, maybe he has a crayon in his brain. That is as good a theory as any. Maybe if John could just dislodge that crayon out of his brain, he'll be smart again. Kitty gifted 1. Who are these podcast memberships? Thank you very much for that, Kitty. Ryan A, $2. John's favorite new metal band, Papa Roach. Johnny Stengel, $5. Carl writes his ass like a lightning bolt, 1488. Nick Tucker, $2. Carl, I second a New England show. Get a blind guy. Well, yeah, it'd be great. Be great to have Mike there. Kenneth Thornton, $2. FSJ, don't super chat me back. I won't. Lionel Hutz. He's also like Barney Gumble, except Barney is intelligent when he doesn't drink and actually has friends. John is somehow worse without the booze. Yeah, we've made the Barney comparison a lot, especially when he starts doing the burping and talking and just being disgusting, which I have an example coming up. Monty, $2.79. Finally get to watch live for a change. Love you, Carla. Thank you, Monty. I appreciate it. I almost said Carla. I'm not used to people actually writing my name correctly. Thank you, Monty. Glad you can watch live. Dang Lizard, €5. Thanks to people realizing the true message, the Debunking will have its first sermon in due time. Listen to our prophet, the Doomspaya, #the turn. Dang Lizard, sign me up. You know I'm all in. Door goes open, remember, for 2 months. Great show, Mr. Hamburger. Peace and love. Peace and love. Ayo, 1012. $2. It was a good point. I thought it was you. Lionel Hutz, $5 John threw his mom down the stairs when she told him Silent Mike was moving in. I consider myself a nice, loving person, but I hope she snapped something. Well, we don't hope she snapped something. We love Mrs. Melendez. Terry Lint, chocolate. VTL did 10 shows with Narcissist Doc and SJ. Usually. All right. Rocco Orby, 2002, $2. SJ is fit. He drinks low-carb Coors Light. Yes, he does. This is part of his special diet. John's ear mites, remember, for 8 months. 8 months, best friend. You'll always have ear mites. Now get them juicy loaves to Chicago. I do love Chi-Town. I got to make it back there. Cubs have had some nice wins the last 2 days. Kitty, $2. We can work it out. SJ to Bob Levy. Correct. John's a pussy. Frankie McDonald, 666, $2. John's going Fred Flintstone mode. Yabba dabba ado. Yabba dabble ado. Yabba dabble ado. I'm sorry. I'm reading too quickly. America Cupcake, $5. Didn't John find a box of old pictures in the Cape Coral house? Is that where his motorcycle picture came from? That's funny. I like that. I like that theory. Lionel Hutz. Does John think October 7 attack is karma for Shuley? Yes, for sure. Mike V. $2. Terry told me about Morse's wiener. It's super tiny. Well, oxes can sometimes say hurtful things. Dang Lizard, €5. The best part of that clip is SJ arguing himself, losing and kicking Vince the lawyer as a result, who hasn't said a thing for a while. Yes, it's hilarious. John's a moron. Picture exactly, $2. Is VTL a philodimide baby? I'm pronouncing that wrong. I apologize. Mike V, $2. VTL is handsome. I'm hetero, but I do him. All right, maybe that is Vince the lawyer. Kitty, $2. Glad I didn't see John in Florida. I was in Florida. Well, I'm glad you didn't either. That sounds scary. Now I'm saying became a new member. Thank you very much. Lionel Hutz. Hello, Mr. Carl's Hamburgers. Naturally negative, $5. Putting this on a podcast that cares about them. Congratulations to Night and Day on your new kid. I hope you'll consider naming your kid Eclipse. Oh, that's fun. See, John will say we're talking about his kids, but that's fun. Eclipse would be a fun name. I mean, we're all making up names. Who cares? What's the difference? Why not? Are there 3,200 people watching right now? Thank you very much to all the people in here watching the show. I appreciate it. It's fan-fucking-tastic. Rocco Orby, 2002, $2. SJ versus Jake Paul. Oh my gosh, can we make that happen? I'd much rather watch that. than Paul Tyson. I got the time wrong from Bob, $2. John doesn't know what words mean. All right. We have a record number of viewers right now. I appreciate that. Let me play you my favorite part of the show. Now, as you guys probably know, when John and Vince get together, we saw this in Atlantic City, they like to do this thing where they fake laugh. They say, like, someone will super chat, like, hey, I think Shuli Agar's comedy is really funny. And then they'll crack up laughing. Oh my gosh, right? So this is another example of that. And this gets really gross. So avert your eyes if you need to.
No, but just, I don't have the time right now.
I know. They wanted us to laugh, the fake laugh.
Oh, whoa. Oh, hold on, Vince. I'm sorry. Here we go.
Think about it.
Shuli said joins up.
Did you all see Leaky John just now? This is so gross. I don't know why John allows himself to leak fluids out of his face while he's streaming. Most people would be embarrassed. Now, I'm not reading the chat, but I know what people are saying right now. They're going, you know what, Carl? I missed it. Can you play that again? Yeah, I can. I can play that again. In fact, let me zoom in on it for everyone who maybe missed what was going on there. This will be a better shot of it. Was it David Icke who opined that there's lizard people among us? Is it possible? Now, I haven't met John in person. My buddy Rocco has. Patrick Melton has. Maybe I'll ask them. Is it possible that John is a lizard person? Let's watch that one more time. I have a slow-mo version of it that I think maybe this will get to the bottom of what's really going on here. Tom, $20. Thank you for that. What's up with Vince the ambulance chaser? He's not funny. He has no charisma. His show is a snore fest. Go away, Vince the troll. Yeah, he also does this thing where he doctors video and audio and makes shit up, and it's very boring. Pontiva, member for 2 months. If it wasn't you, write an S live in the air. All right, you ready? Uh-oh, I hope I don't incriminate myself here. Let's see. Oh, shit. Oh, no, I should not have done that. That's going to be analyzed for years to come. I'm going to need a distraction. I'm going to need a distraction from that. See if I can catch that. Oh, so disgusting. Oh, Stuttering John. How can you never get out of your own way? I'll never understand it. I got the wrong time from Bob, who's been chatting up a storm. Thank you for that. If John hires a spy to tail you, haha, okay, pretend for a sec. You should have them on WTP or the Creep Off. Oh yeah, that'd be fantastic. I'd love to meet someone who actually admires John or works with John or thinks that John isn't a complete retard. That'd be interesting. Get their perspective on things. CJ Spags, $2. John has no teeth. What the fuck? Yeah. There's something weird going on there. And then again, John likes to make fun of my teeth. I mean, I don't blame him. I would too. But John, everything that he makes fun of people for, he's got going on in spades. It just seems like he's never has the right angle. All right. I got to get out of here with that. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out during this emergency episode. We haven't done one in many months, and this was fun. I enjoyed just you and me doing a show together. It's a lot of fun, and we appreciate all of the support that has come in. Apeshit Media. John is such a foul piggy. He's disgusting. But, he's our foul piggy. And so we appreciate that, John. We appreciate all you do for the Dabbleverse and for Who Are These Podcasts and all the other shows that revolve around this stupid little community that we have that we're all enjoying so much. So never stop being you, John. Thank you for that. Hackamania.com. Get your tickets. 20% off with promo code WATP. That's going to be a very fun weekend. We have stand-up shows on Friday night. We have a Kill Tony style podcast with open micers Friday night. We have live podcasting on Saturday. Sunday, we'll probably play poker and hang out by the pool and do all sorts of Vegas style things. So really looking forward to that. Hackamania.com. We'll be back on WATP for our regular midweek show. Tomorrow is Wednesday, 5 p.m. Everyone who's a member on our Patreon, Supercast, or YouTube gets a link to watch us do it live. We do it at 5 p.m. on Wednesdays, 2 p.m. on Saturdays for everyone who's a member. So go ahead and sign up for those. And you can support the show, get bonus episodes, and watch us do the show live. Guys, thanks for hanging out.
Farting in the mosh pits of morning radio.
Okay. Great show. Good job, everybody.
Great job, everyone.
Shut the fuck up, asswipe, and suck my cock.
That's the gayest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Mental illness can literally drive you crazy.
Boom! Hot take!
No one told me there was gonna be boasting.
This dude is fucking corny.
There have been no laughs!
What do you mean?
None!
This is going great.
Who are these?
Podcasts.
I don't know.
I don't get it.
Makes no sense.
Fucking thing sucks!
Let's all learn a lesson from this podcast. Don't do what we do, which is a podcast.